Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Pop Cracking It's D. About to react to this spill session bit. It's titled Blake Lively Exposed in Lawsuit Footage. Oh, there's footage. We got some proof, some evidence on her. Let's see what's going on. Let's watch.
Justin Baldoni's legal team has now released footage from the movie It Ends With Us. This is raw, uncut footage that honestly does not make Blake look the best, because how she described this scene being shot in her complaint is very different from how it seems to be playing out. And a lot of people have a lot of things to say in reaction to this clip being released to the public. Okay, let's talk about the timeline of events leading up to this moment that Justin now feels clears his name from the original Blake Lively complaint. On December 20th, 2024, Blake Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department against Justin Baldoni, producer Jamie Heath, and their production company Wayfarer. She alleged harassment and a hostile work environment during the film's production. She claimed that Justin exhibited disturbing and unprofessional behavior on set, leading to significant emotional distress. Her complaint was published in the New York Times along with an article they wrote reporting on the situation. On December 21st, 2024, following Blake's complaint, talent agency WME dropped Justin as a client. Author Colleen Hoover, whose novel inspired the film, publicly supported Blake. Other cast members also began to publicly support Blake and encouraged them to read the complaint in the New York Times. And the actors union SAG-AFTRA also expressed support for Blake, commending her courage in speaking out. On December 31st, 2024, Justin filed a $250 million libel lawsuit against the New York Times, accusing the publication of defamation in its reporting on Blake's allegations. Justin claimed the newspaper relied on a self-serving narrative and ignored evidence disputing Blake's claims. On January 16th of this year, Justin escalated the legal battle by filing a $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan. The suit filed.
See, that's the problem with being married. when your spouse gets sued, they owe money. You owe money.
In New York alleges defamation, civil extortion, and invasion of privacy. Justin contends that
maybe he feels like he was also involved in some fuck shit, though. I don't know all the details.
Blake and her associates engaged in a coordinated effort to tarnish his reputation and derail his career. Since the lawsuit against Blake was reported, her legal team has since come out to address the situation. In a statement to InStyle, Lively's legal team said, "This is an age-old story. A woman speaks up with concrete evidence of harassment and retaliation and the attempts to turn the tables on the victim." The team cited DARVO, an acronym used to describe diversionary tactics often used by deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. Wayfarer has opted to use the resources of its billionaire co-founder to issue media statements, launch meritless lawsuits, and threaten litigation to overwhelm the public's ability to understand that what they are doing is retaliation against harassment allegations. The statement went on. They are trying to shift the narrative to Miss Lively by falsely claiming that she seized creative control and alienated the cast from Mr. Baldoni. But now, on January 21st of this year, Justin's legal team has made uncut footage from the set of the movie It Ends With Us available to the public, and they believe this footage clears Justin's name from one of the claims made against him by Blake in her complaint against him. In Blake's complaint, it said, "On another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Miss Lively were filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Miss Lively out of character as himself. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear and down her neck as he said, 'It smells so good.' None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script, and nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Miss Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Miss Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, 'I'm not even attracted to you.'" Of course, when reading this, you're thinking, oh my gosh, ick, like, he is weird, unprofessional, why is he doing that? That would make anyone uncomfortable. But Justin claimed in his lawsuit against Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan that this is not how it went down at all, and he has footage to prove it. In his complaint, it said, Lively's later complaint sheds light on what this point was alluding to in this demand. which at the time was baffling and upon review of the filmed evidence is unequivocally based on a lie. Production was filming a romance montage of Lily and Ryle on their date. One of the producers played music to set the mood so the characters could slow dance. Lively, consistently unable to take direction, insisted she really liked the idea of the characters constantly talking because, as she described, she and her husband like to keep talking and talking
Okay,
and
that's y'all,
talking.
girl.
Baldoni, her director, and the film's assistant director, who was directing the scene, disagreed. In an attempt to encourage her to take his direction, Baldoni offered up that he and his wife often just look into each other's eyes silently, to which she responded, like sociopaths, and laughed. Baldoni laughed and shook it off while Lively once again started talking about how she and her husband can't not talk. Baldoni said, "I think that's cute," and complimented the couple, to which Lively responded, "I think it's more than cute." Lively continued arguing and tried to direct him for the scene. While they were supposed to be in character filming the scene, at some point, Heath and another producer, irritated, called Baldoni aside to
These are very different stories, so hopefully she played a clip. Okay, we got some footage coming.
They can't capture.
I mean, it is important to set the the tone and give backstory though, because if she just played the clip, I wouldn't have known what was going on. So, fair.
For the intended shot because Lively wouldn't stop talking. He was instructed to somehow get her to stop. While there was a brief verbal exchange, heeding the instruction of their assistant director and producers, continued to try to bring them back into character. As they were acting in this montage scene, Lively continued to break character and speak as herself rather than as Lily, which was extremely confusing for Baldoni, who was trying to balance directing the scene with his artistic vision while also acting in character while filming and trying to get Lively to do the same. Lively apologized for the smell of her spray tan and body makeup. Baldoni responded, "It smells good," and continued acting, slow dancing as he believed his character would with his partner, which requires some amount of physical touching. Lively took them out of character again and began to joke about Baldoni's nose, which he laughed off and joked in turn, even as Lively joked that he could get plastic surgery. Lively incorrectly alleges that this scene was filmed without sound. Baldoni was wearing a microphone and the entire exchange is captured on camera. Any suggestion that this scene was filmed in any manner other than pure professionalism by Baldoni is unequivocally countered with actual evidence. Her allegation of harassment is a documented and knowingly fabricated lie. The footage from this scene has now come out where we in fact do see throughout this 9-minute long clip of footage, Blake say multiple times that she thinks they should be talking to each other, and Justin doesn't seem as down, but when they are talking, it's cracking jokes and talking about talking to each other in the scene, and not like he's flirting with her out of character because he's some unprofessional weirdo. It doesn't seem that way at all.
She's annoying. I'm also keeping in mind the interview that I watched of her where she was just being so nasty to that woman that was interviewing her. And whoever that other lady was, I don't know who that other lady was. So I'm keeping all of that in mind, you know, to understand the type of person that she is. You know, obviously I don't know this woman, but just based on the few things that I've seen, she just doesn't seem like a pleasant person to be around.
We have no idea talking lessons. Yeah, I'm like, what? No, you're never going to find out.
Oh my gosh, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I have we have these moments where
You just stare.
we've done it for 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally look at each other and time.
I'm a sociopath.
And time stops.
Yeah.
But that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my goodness.
And they score again.
Yeah. So go ahead and have to advertise something else.
Oh, I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
They won the Stanley Cup.
And then we see
Girl.
the scene that Blake described in her complaint where he says it smells so good, which it seems like he only said this because she said she was probably getting body tan on him, and in response he says it smells good as to say like it's okay, it's fine.
I get beard on you today. It smells good.
Well, it's not bad. It's the body makeup.
Yeah, she's a weirdo for flipping that.
All right, cut.
And look, as soon as he said cut, he just like, all right, get this bitch away from me. So for her trying to make it seem like, oh, he's trying to, you know, be all on her like, you smell good, I want you. It's crazy. It's crazy. It does seem like he was trying to make her feel more comfortable because she's like, oh, I guess he thought that she meant like, oh, I'm getting this smell on you. And he's just like, oh, it smells good. Like, it's fine, pretty much. And she's like, it's not that. It's the makeup. Like, she's trying to say, like, I'm talking about getting makeup on you, not the smell. But, girl,
Yes.
look at his face change.
All right, cut. We got plenty. Yes. It's going to be a 17 factory.
In this clip, we also see them joke about Justin's nose, which he wrote about in his complaint.
Yeah, my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this.
Oh.
It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. I'm gonna call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And,
She said it's not too late.
Cut.
just kidding.
And we also see a situation where she is
Ooh.
telling him the light is behind him and they aren't on their marks, and he is saying it looks better. And this was at the beginning of the clip, so maybe him not saying to her, oh my god, you're right, we aren't on our marks, thank you so much, it does look better with the light in front, would have made her feel validated and right. And I don't know, maybe she wouldn't have felt so off about the whole scene, but maybe she felt shut down and then the whole scene was uncomfortable for her, but certainly not
my
in the
God.
way that she was describing in her complaint, I'll say that.
Is this on car?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
And it's like, y'all, I think it's also strange to claim that this man is on you and this is sexual harassment when this is the role for him to be on you. Like, y'all are acting because y'all are romantic in the movie. I'm confused. She acting like that was on lunch break or something and he was all on her, you smell good. And y'all are literally in the middle of like a scene or trying to set up for a scene. What are we talking about?
I'll make you so
The thing about this footage and her complaint is that people will certainly see this and call her a liar or an over-exaggerator, and they have been doing that since this footage has been out and circulating around the internet. And of course, this has people really just not believing anything happened to her on the set of this film, and I'm very much a person who wants to believe people when they say something happened to them, especially...
I do too, but not when there's proof that contradicts what you're saying. I'm not saying nothing else happened, but for her to just blatantly twist that and lie about that is very concerning.
The claims she was making, but footage like this and what she said happened in the complaint make her look very bad. And it's disappointing because it's things like this that happen that have people second guessing victims, and it makes it even harder for people to be believed when something actually happens to them. And it is very much possible that Blake was uncomfortable on this set, and maybe it was the case that she wanted them to talk in the scene because she didn't want to be romantically intimate with him in this scene. Like,
So why are you in a movie being romantic with him? Isn't that what the movie is about? Am I missing something?
they were supposed to be. But the problem is we just only know what we know and what she wrote in her complaint and the footage, and they don't really align. The situations do not
That's
align.
weird. I'm
and
sorry.
because of that, people are going to look at her and they're not going to believe the rest of the complaint. And that's the problem here. Because unfortunately, this
Yeah, baby
footage,
in the
at least
movie.
in Justin's legal team's eyes, completely tarnishes her word. And I don't want to be saying that because I don't want to believe that people would actually say something happened when it didn't. Because,
I mean,
like I said,
that's what they
it
do,
really-
girl. They do it every day. This is why I never have the sentiment, oh, just believe all women, blindly believe all women. And I feel like that's kind of what she's alluding to. Like, oh, I want to believe every victim. But when there's video proof, girl, or when there is strong evidence that alludes to them lying or being dishonest or twisting a narrative to make it seem worse than it actually was, we have to be honest about that, woman or not. So I don't agree with that narrative at all. I think that she's dead wrong based on what we're seeing, and this is what she's specifically referencing. This situation is on camera, and it didn't go down like you said it did, girl. And I'm not saying nothing else happened to her. Maybe it did. But the fact that you would lie about this, it does bring about the question, what else are you lying about? I don't care for her at all. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about all this stuff. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.